Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to the witnesses for being here today. I'm proud to have Duke Energy's Robinson plant, nuclear plant in the Congressional District of South Carolina. The plant employs 500 people and is a major source of tax revenue for Darlington County, certainly energy. Just last week, I was thrilled to hear that the NRC approved Robinson's application to operate for an additional 20 years through 2050, which is important for both the local area and the entire state. It's an exciting time for the district, for South Carolina, and certainly for Duke Energy. In light of the growing demand for power, though, there is discussion about permitting reforms to ensure the production and supply of that power. Last week, the head of the National Association of Regulatory Utility Commissioners wrote a letter to leaders of the Senate Energy Committee who are reportedly involved in permitting reforms themselves. This letter made several points about reforming federal permitting processes, reducing red tape, not increasing it, and concluded with respect to transmission siting that members, quote, should resist any effort to concentrate even more authority over local siting decisions in the federal government. Mr. Chairman, with unanimous consent, I'd like to submit that letter to the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. Mr. Myers, from your perspective, is the answer to faster energy infrastructure permitting to create more federal permitting bureaucracy over state decisions or less?
Less.
And would you like to expand on that? What is the rub here on why the federal government maybe is not best equipped to handle that?
Well, I think that NARUC letter you just referenced pretty much sums it up very well. I think every time the federal government gets involved, it ends up costing more from a time standpoint, if not monetary, for states to get things done. We have a pretty good record of implementing these projects fairly quickly. I think the biggest benefit the federal government could provide is permitting reform, judicial reform as part of that process, and just removing the red tape.
Maybe expedited review and some other things like that?
All of that.
Yeah. Mr. Peeler, Mr. Falcone, if a federal backstop steps over thorough integrated planning at the state level or even the regional level, what can that mean for affordability and household bills? We'll start with you, Mr. Falcone.
Representative Frey, I think the important thing, the big debate is whether FERC should have siting authority. And I think the important thing is whatever planning process Congress decides, it should be an integrated planning process. It should work with the existing processes, not be an add-on. There shouldn't be shopping of transmission projects, and that those projects that are selected have to provide benefits to customers. I used to be the CEO of an electric utility, and let me say that if money goes to projects that don't provide value, that's less money for things that do provide value. So there has to be adequate protections that we're selecting the right projects and it really delivers consumer value.
Mr. Peeler?
Yes, I would agree with Mr. Falcone and just add, in addition to his comments, it can slow down the actual construction and completion of the projects as well.
How should integrated planning process work to ensure the lowest cost to ratepayers?
Yeah, so it's important that all factors, inputs to planning, as well as the levers for solutions be considered. So load is an input, and solutions are generation, transmission, distribution solutions. I think that works best when it's closest to the customers. And in general, that means at state regulatory levels for resource planning, and transmission planning should support resource planning. They should be integrated together, all options considered. That's the best solution.
Thank you for that. Switching back to nuclear with you, Mr. Peeler. We're looking at legislation about protecting residential ratepayers today against extraordinary growth in power demand, particularly from data centers. How does new nuclear factor in for Duke as you evaluate what is in the best interest of your customers and the balance?
Yeah, as you well know, nuclear is a cornerstone of Duke Energy's generation fleet. Served customers well for decades. It's a capital-intensive effort. We're focused right now on lengthening the lives of the plants we have, just like the plant you mentioned earlier, as well as getting more out of the plants we have. So we actually have uprates underway at our existing fleet of over 300 megawatts. So that's like a new SMR for our existing fleet. And we continue to have new nuclear as one of our choices in our integrated resource plan. So we continue to look for that. at the right time, at the right cost for customers, it'll be incorporated.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman. I see my time has expired. I yield back.
Thank you very much.